Hello, we are delighted to share the ways our DNACPR Quality Improvement Project has changed patient experience of DNACPR in our hospitals with you today. My name is Donna and I've been the nursing lead for this project, and presenting with me are Sandra, our Quality Improvement Lead, and Helena, our patient representative from the Trust Patient Partnership Group. Nottingham University Hospitals is a large teaching trust. We recognise that decisions relating to cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, ensure that our dying patients are not subjected to the trauma and indignity of attempted CPR if there is no realistic prospect of success. Following an inspection in early 2019, the CQC issued NUH with a must-do action and indicated that we must ensure that DNA CPR forms are fully completed and conversations with our patients and relatives are documented in the patient's medical records. Established in response to this report, the DNACPR Quality Improvement Project took a trust-wide approach with patient experience at its centre and aimed to enhance patient and family experience in relation to DNACPR decisions and define, implement and sustain the change required to meet the CQC recommendations for the Trust. We will now share with you 3 reasons why we believe our project has strengthened the foundations of patient experience within our organisation and also improved the quality of DNACPR communications. We initiated a trust-wide change programme using quality improvement methodology, creating a staff and patient collaborative project that enabled us to see and sustain our improvements. I now hand over to Sandra.
Thank you, Donna. Owing to the impact of poor DNACPR performance on patient dignity, experience and safety, this had to be an ambitious programme. It required a whole trust, large-scale change programme with quality improvement methodology at its heart. In addition, the pandemic brought further challenges, doubling the number of DNA CPR conversations as we entered lockdown. So we needed to be innovative and our approach was to do this through collaboration. This enabled our work to be locally led, insight-driven and triangulated with staff and patient feedback. This became our driver for experience-based co-design and co-production. Hence, patient and public involvement was established in this work at the very start. High energy came from our staff as we facilitated them to make small changes locally, to see the impact of these and showcase their successes. Our primary concern was to inspire a shared vision for this work, to enable others to act through a supportive and enabling culture from board to ward. The leadership showing in this programme governance slide is indicative of the supportive framework we built. We made this everyone's business to facilitate a sustainable impact of our collaborative improvement efforts. We didn't want to become one of the 70% failed projects, and we believe we succeeded. Our medical director said, "This quality improvement project has been transformational in the understanding and completion of DNA CPR forms across the Trust. The involvement of the Patient and Public Partnership Group has changed the language and approach we have taken with patients and families. And the QI methodology has resulted in systematic progress in all domains over the period of the project. This has been a fantastic collaborative project, resulting in significant improvement in this critically important area of practice." Our work was aligned to the Trust's strategic objectives and quality priorities. Staff and patient involvement and empowerment is something we are really proud of. This was the first time this approach was trialled at a large scale with sustained positive impact on better staff and patient experiences as they have co-designed the improvements. In terms of innovation and transferability, we believe we have captured hearts and minds, and the experience-based co-design approach has now been highlighted locally and nationally as best practice. The Trust has now established a dedicated patient and public involvement quality improvement group to aid other quality improvement efforts. I'll now hand over to Helena.
Thanks, Sandra. Our trust offered CUSA fundamentals training to the patient partnership group. Doing this helped me to feel an equal and confident partner in the DNACPR project group. In this group, we reached a shared understanding of the phrase patient experience, distilling it to 3 components: a well-administered process, staff able to hold easy to understand and compassionate DNACPR conversations, and readily accessible, clear patient carer information available to facilitate understanding, involvement, and autonomy. We wanted patients to feel valued and protected by their DNACPR. Consultation with the patient partnership group, carers, and the wider public made it clear that both the language about and approach to DNACPR needed to change. The project's work shifted the information emphasis from cardiac arrest and CPR as a treatment to contextualizing DNACPR within ordinary dying. This movement spread to the staff and contributed to conversations leading to trust-wide culture change. A confident and supported culture is important for both patient safety and experience. Here are examples of our co-produced multi-format information and access routes to that information. They are the work of patients, carers, clinicians, and the learning disability, audiology, and inclusion and equality and diversity teams. Written, easy read, video, British Sign Language, and Polish and Urdu translations have been tailored to meet the needs of our diverse community. The pandemic brought poor media coverage of DNACPR, which led to fear in the public. So we modified our webpage to include an FAQ and more about end-of-life care. Using the trust and patient group's social media channels, we raised awareness of our suite of information. The patient group is incredibly proud of the improvements to DNACPR, and our member with a learning disability gave the easy read leaflet and video a big thumbs up and said they were cool.
The DNACPR Quality Improvement Project was led by members from all divisions, with DNACPR champions representing each clinical specialty. All stakeholders were involved in the development and delivery of our PDSAs and engaged in the sustainability of improvements as the initial project concluded. Our DNACPR champions are junior clinicians who identify and escalate concerns about DNACPR form completion, complete local audits, provide feedback to clinicians to celebrate excellence and support development. They support the implementation of change and review the impact of improvement actions within their areas. We designed a standardised audit tool and increased frequency from quarterly to monthly, enabling divisional representatives to review their results more frequently and update their action plans accordingly. The audit focuses on elements of the DNACPR process that enhance improvements in the experiences of our patients and their families. Although our project has ended, through sustainability planning and ongoing trust-wide engagement, the changes we initiated continue to show a positive impact. Our future ambitions for improvement will be guided by the Resuscitation Committee, comprising of representatives from all clinical divisions and our patient partnership group. We support compassionate and appropriate DNACPR discussions for all our patients, and through this, we hope to broaden the public conversation about ordinary dying. We are also looking to increase patient and carer stories in participation in medical training and enhance the quality of DNACPR conversations. As a project and as a trust, we have experienced the positive impact of patient and carer representation. It helped ensure we had a shared understanding of the needs of our community and that these needs were met in a compassionate, informative and accessible way. This positive collaboration between patients, carers and staff has contributed to the development of a patient engagement and experience strategy by the Trust, strengthening our foundations for establishing partnership working and co-production as standard practice. Thank you for allowing us to share our project with you, and we welcome any questions.